Hi everyone, welcome to Becky's Crafts and Goodies. Today we've got an upcycle video for you. I picked this up for £10 from Facebook Marketplace and I'm going to give it a quick little makeover, show you how to do it, and hopefully I'll inspire you to have a look around and find some cheap bits of furniture and things that you can pop in your own house or even sell. I'll show you what I'm going to use to start with. So normally with things like this you don't need to sand it or do anything, because when you use this chalk paint you don't need to really do anything with it. You just whack it on and then that's absolutely fine. But this table's got a few little bumps and marks, and it looks like it's been around somewhere that's been you know, something else that's been painted, because you've got bits like that on it. So what I am going to do is sand the top, but I don't normally do that, but I am in this instance. I've got this left over from another project that we did. This is wedding cake, and I've just got a couple of paintbrushes and things, so I don't know what size I'm going to use. I've had these for ages and that might need mixing a little bit, so I'm just going to use that and we'll get started. Right, we'll start and paint it now. It does look a bit blotchy on there, but it should be fine when we've started to paint over the top. I would recommend using a proper chalk paintbrush. This is a vintage with grace one. French chic do chalk paint brushes, loads of people do really, but it does make it easier. With chalk paint it is quite forgiving, so it does sort of go over and cover the lumpy bumpy bits quite well. So it is just a case of going over. I'll do a couple of coats, if it needs more than 2 coats then I'll do another one. Right, so the paint is drying, but I just want to show you this. I've just picked this up from Facebook Marketplace for £30, and it's just what I was looking for. So I am going to show you at the end this TV stand. It is a corner stand. It is taller than the one I've got at the moment, but I am going to do that in the same kind of design, and I'm going to redo my table and chairs actually as well, because I want them kind of all matching. So yes, so I'll show you this at the end, but I'm going to do that in the same design as the table. I'm going to show you now how to pop the stencils on, because the table's nice and dry. So the stencils that I've bought, I've opened them. They are Decor Transfers, Delicate Roses. They're redesigned by Prima. Prima are great for transfers. So that's the selection that you get on the back. So I've taken them out because I just had a quick look at the TV unit to see which ones I wanted to use where. So there's some really nice ones. I'm going to use these on the tables. I think this one in the corner, and then maybe this one as well. And I had a quick look, and I might put something like this on the door of the new TV cupboard. So what you need to do is, I've got some scissors, and I'm just going to cut out around the part that I need here, like that. And what we're going to do is to peel that off this little backing part, and then we're going to put this just where we want it. So I'm going to go in the corner, just make sure it hasn't got any dust or bits like that on it. And then in the kits you get these little sticks, and you just use that to rub the transfer onto whatever it is you're popping it onto. So just go over like this, taking your time and just sort of transferring it on. Right, so I've just taken the top layer off, and I did film it, or so I thought, and I was just standing here talking to myself whilst doing it because the camera wasn't on. So I'll just do the other side and show you exactly how I did it. So just start rubbing the actual transfer with the stick provided, and just keep going over it just to make sure that all the bits are covered. Pay particular attention if you can to the corners, but just be careful when doing them, because when you pull them back, the corners are obviously what you pull first. So I'm just kind of carefully going over it. It is hard to always tell if you've got every piece, because obviously you can't see really where you've gone, but just pull it back slowly and that should help. So when pulling it back, just go really slowly on one corner, just so you can see if you've got all corners, especially when you're doing things like leaves and things like that. You sometimes get the tip that you haven't caught. So I'll just go really slowly and then pull it back if you think you need to do a little bit more, and just sort of do it like this, pulling very gently back as you go. And that's how you do it. So the next stage would be if you wanted to distress it. So I tend to distress it after I've put the transfers on, just purely because of the dust, but you can do it before or after, just as long as you make sure there's no dust. You can also wet distress as well if you want to, by getting some sort of wipe or something, or a cloth, and just wiping the paint away. But at the moment I haven't decided what I want to do. Right, I've decided to actually distress the sides. So what I've done is I've just popped these little pads over the flowers, and I'm just going to use one of these little sanders and just do some little bits as we've done before. Just take some of the paint off around the edge, just on the edge here like this. So if you can see, I've kind of gone around it like that, and just on the corners and down the side on there as well, and on the legs. So that's all done. Now we're going to seal it with some wax. This is really good wax. So it's a decor wax. It's not cheap, and they do a dark one and then they do like a clear one. I'm not going to be able to open that one-handed. So I'll use that, and I've just got some cloths that I use. I'll just wash those, and they're nice and dry. So I'll just pop the wax on with that. So you just get your cloth and some of the wax on your cloth, and all you want to do is top it on the surface, and I just kind of go in circular motions like that, just rub it on. And once the wax has dried, then you can actually like give it a polish as well. So drying and polishing helps to seal it. So once you've done that, you've got to give it, you know, a little while to actually harden, and then that's how it protects the paint, and it also protects what you put on top as well. So you won't be able to use this straight away. So I'm just going to carry on putting the wax on this. I'll let it dry, and if I think it needs another coat, I'll pop some more on, and then I'll just give it a little polish, and it will be all ready. And I'll show you the finished product, and in a second, it will seem like a second, but it might be a few days for me, I will show you the cupboard done too. So I've painted it. It had 3 coats, and I've put some of the transfers on, so I had to kind of mix and match some of them because these bits here were like separate. So I kind of put these bits in, put one around the corner there. I have painted inside, but what I'm going to do is I've got to distress it, so I'm going to just use the sanding mouse for that. I've put a flower around there as well, and then I've kind of mixed and matched one on the top here on this top corner. So I've moved it outside just basically so I can sand it, but I think it's coming along really nicely. Obviously just done it in exactly the same way as the coffee table, but I think it's coming along and looking really nice. Here we go. So this is the TV unit all done. I haven't done the table and chairs yet because I've run out of paint, so that'll probably take another maybe 10.5 to do the table and chairs, so I will do that now. So they're both in now, and I'm really pleased with how they look, apart from the fact we had to get a new TV stand, and the TV looks massive up there now. Same size TV, but it just looks huge. So the stand we had before didn't fit, so I had to buy one of these little centre kind of stands there from Amazon, and that just went at the back of the TV. But what is really good, once I've sorted the wires out at the back, there's a hole at the back of the cupboard, so all the wires go through there, and then you can hide stuff in there, which is absolutely great. So I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. I am going to do the table, but I've only got a half pot of paint, so I'm going to wait because I need to buy another pot of paint. So I will do that, and I've just saved a couple of you know, bits like this, so I can sort of team it all up together. But because that's in the dining room bit, I think that'll wait for now. But that's it. So hopefully I've inspired you to have a go. I'm going to get a rug just to put down the bottom here. But, you know, obviously if I was to buy this ready done, it would have been a lot more expensive. I did have to spend £20 on the TV stand, because the other one, it would have fallen off because the legs were right sort of on the side. But I think it looks quite good. We'll get used to telly being that high and looking almost twice the size, I'm sure. But that's obviously got to stay as it is. So hopefully I've inspired you to have a go. Look around some charity shops, some car boot sales, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, anything like that, and give it a go yourself. So hopefully you're okay, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.